Hi, and welcome to another episode of my raw and unedited data talks with Analytical Amos. If you have not watched my other videos, you can go back to my channel and watch. But for now, if you have not subscribed, subscribe, like, comment, and turn on notifications so we can always discuss data as real as it is. On today's video, I'll be talking about what recruiters actually look for. It will be interesting, so keep watching, don't go away. So what recruiters actually look for as a data analyst, first is they compare the job description to your profile. Your profile may be on LinkedIn, maybe on Indeed, maybe on any job board, or maybe on your CV. So they compare the job description to your profile. That's the first thing they do. And how do you make your CV stand out? You can build a data analysis CV that is general, but when you're applying for a job, personally, what I used to do, I'm not used to applying for jobs, but what I tell people when applying for a job, most times, if there is a way, apply through the company site. On LinkedIn, you will see 100 applicants already for a job posted in 2 hours, 200 applicants already and sometimes you see jobs that have been 30 days, 20 days. A lot of people that get jobs quick actually apply from the company site. So take the time, take the stress. If you really need the job and it aligns with your skills and expertise and experience, go straight to the company site and apply there. That's a trick I give only on my videos. So, but yeah, they compare your profile to your CV. So you have to tailor your CV to that particular job as far as you can do it. If it's something you cannot do, avoid embarrassment, because you might go fumble during interview if you don't know how the interview is structured. But if it's something you can do, look at the CV. You know, in data analysis, there are a lot of fields, I would call it, a lot of branches. Only as a data analyst, you can be a growth analyst, you can be a marketing analyst, you can be a social media analyst, you can be a product analyst, you can be a business intelligence analyst. There are a lot of branches. All of them are still analysis, and data is always like the general word they use for all of them. But first thing you have to do is tailor your CV to the job description. That gives you an edge, that if they are looking through your CV and they run through it, they see that, okay, this person has the necessary qualifications that we need or that we want. And that's the first thing recruiters look out for. If definitely you have the ability in your profile, through your profile, to be able to do this job. So that's one thing they look out for. Secondly, when you've passed that stage, the next thing they look out for is for an entry level. If you have a portfolio is always very good. I advise every entry level data analyst, if you can build a portfolio, no matter how simple it is, you can build it using GitHub, you can build it using Notion, you can build any weeks, anyhow you want to build it. But have a portfolio attached to your profile. It will help you stand out. Yeah, it might help you stand out. For recruiters who are very much detailed to look through, they will definitely see it, and it speaks volume that you are technical and you can do it. Shows what you can do. So recruiters look out for that too. You don't just put in a CV in a Word document or in a PDF, say everything about yourself without showing proof. And at the end of the day, they see another one that beats yours, they will drop. You won't even make it to the recruiter's first call. So second thing to look out for is, has this person done anything to make us believe that it can actually do this job? That's for an entry role. But for an experienced role, they look at the business. Has this person worked in a business that is related to us? Because I know a couple of people have applied for jobs and they told them, okay, you did very well. We've seen your experience, but sadly, unfortunately, which is always a word that scares a lot of people, unfortunately, we found someone whose CV is aligned better to our business, and we decided to move on with that person. So they look out if you have experience or experience that aligns with their kind of business. Look out for it. I remember personally when I didn't apply, I was reached out to by Bolt here, and after the first interview, twice I've been reached out by Bolt. I've reached out from Bolt. The first one, why I wasn't considered was they said I didn't have experience in their kind of business, whatever they do. You know what Bolt does, actually. Just joking. So they said I didn't have experience in their line of business, and because of that, they couldn't proceed with me, even with all my experience. And they reached out to me. Not that the recruiter reached out to me. It was the hiring manager that actually said that. Then another time that they reached out to me again, I told them, you've reached out to me before many months ago. They said, yeah, this is for another department. I said, okay. And in that one, they said, which is something I'm going to talk about in another video, they said that my experiences, I didn't stay long, and they were planning to relocate anybody. Back then I was in Nigeria. They were planning to relocate anybody they take, and they don't want to relocate me, and I come to is it Estonia? Yeah, Estonia. And I come to Estonia and decide not to work with them again. I was like, okay, should I sign something maybe that will make me stay? But it didn't work out, which is something we'll talk about in another video. For experienced people, how you structure your CV to attract recruiters. So that's another thing we could look at your years of experience, if it's aligned with their kind of business. And the third thing they look at is I call it interview triggers, things that will make them want to interview you. Yeah, things that will make them want to interview you. And what do I mean? In your CV, you don't just describe, I worked at XYZ company and for 4 years and I built dashboard. No, you should include metrics in your CV. You should include metrics in your CV. For experienced people, you can say, I worked at this company, and okay, I worked here and I did this that converted 40% to investment or to business. Yeah, I did a funnel analysis that actually made users come in more and do their KYC more, something like that. Or I did my analysis helped the product team or the design team to get a better onboarding flow that made us have 20% increase in user onboarding completion. All those kind of things can make recruiters say, okay, I think this person has done something that has brought impact on the business. So recruiters look out for those metrics too. Then another thing is soft skill. They look out for soft skill too. At a point in my career, I had to go take a course on LinkedIn. I think the course was titled How to Tell Stories. Yeah, how to tell stories. So they looked at them. I got that course. I got certified in that course, and I used that course to brag to recruiters and hiring managers. Back then, I would tell them I did this course because I wanted to be able to communicate to non-technical stakeholders through stories. So they look out for those soft skills like communication skills. Yeah, look out for those skills too. And if you can include it in your CV, it's necessary at some point, because not only the technical skills, the company wants to see how your skills match with the culture of the company. And many recruiters take this into consideration a lot. And the last one is showing business understanding when you get to the interview stage. This is for both entry level and for experience level. Before you get into an interview, even if it's the first stage of interview, have an understanding of the business you are going into. What actually helped me was that my first work as a data analyst, I worked in a consulting firm, a kind of consulting firm. So we had we had clients from different industries. So I was very much grounded in a lot of industries, even while I was not in there, because we analyzed their data. So I had quite experience. But for an entry level, what you can do is that when you go on Google, go on Kaggle to get data sets from different businesses, from different industries, and analyze them. Like learn the nitty-gritty of the business, learn everything about the business from the data set. When you're analyzing a data set, maybe a health data set, you understand all the metrics, the KPIs they look for. When you're analyzing maybe an e-commerce data set, you understand the metrics and the business KPIs. All this will help you in an interview for that particular business. So, because if you don't understand the business, recruiters might not look at you. I was in an interview once when the recruiter told me, after this stage, you're going to meet the hiring manager. After you meet hiring manager, you're going to meet the technical person that will give you technical queries to structure, to write, and to see your understanding. After that, you meet the stakeholders in the marketing and the directors, and all the stages of interview. The HR told me something. The recruiter told me something. He said, make sure that you show understanding of the business at every point. And only that line alone helped me through the interview. If you want to know if I got the job, then you have to watch in my next video. Subsequent videos, I will talk about that interview process. It was very interesting. There were 7 stages of interview for that particular company, and I will tell you what happened. You will learn from it. Trust me. And if I took the word of the recruiter and I understood the business, it was what gave me an edge in that interview. And I'm telling you now, you have to understand the business. So in a nutshell, I've told you things that you need to know, things that recruiters look out for in your job search, in your job applications. When you are submitting your CV as an entry-level person, as an experienced person, you need to structure your CV and your profile, if it's on LinkedIn, or your portfolio, when you have it, and if you have it, structure it to be able to interest them. How do you interest them? By showing clear understanding of the business based on the role you are applying for, by giving them metrics that will stand out as your accomplishments over the time. And with all this, you are on the ride to being the best analyst. I will wrap it up here so I don't take long. In my next video, I'll talk about a topic that you wouldn't want to miss. If you've not watched my other videos, you should go back and check all of them. If you're a beginner analyst, if you're a senior analyst, if you're a junior analyst, the videos are very, very interesting. And at the same time, if you have what you want me to talk about, put it in the comment section and I will talk about it and we'll discuss about it. If you have any questions from what I've said and you didn't understand, be sure to ask me and I will give you prompt response. I remain Analytical Amos, and I'm here to make you become the analyst you want to be. See you in my next video. Subscribe, like, comment. See you.